By the way, did y'all see the Monster Hunter thing that's happening in China?
What?
No.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Just quick, I guess this is our opener. But there is in the Monster Hunter movie opened in China yesterday, like early before anywhere else, and it has in it like an American guy says he references a very racist joke about Chinese people, and
What?
yeah,
Oh, boy.
but it's like he references like a sing-songy rhyme thing. You can look it up, but it's like extremely deeply offensive to Chinese people. They actually, it's so offensive they took the movie out of theaters in less than a day.
The perception is usually that these big blockbusters are pandering to the Chinese audience because they're such a massive market.
Yeah.
So what the hell happened here?
It's interesting because like
Do you think they would have
yeah.
maybe, thought that one through before opening it in China?
So
Did they
yeah,
not
it's,
know? Did they not realize? Are they that insensitive? They're like, this is about Asian people in general, not just Chinese people.
it's actually it's grown, and so there's a gigantic movement here to get the movie banned from China. Obviously, it's already gone, and then also, Monster Hunter World has been a review bomb
Been
to
on
hell.
Steam. I
Oh
see.
my
Yeah, that
God.
article come up.
Yeah, let's just look at
boy.
those. Yeah, we've had several thousand negative reviews come in the last 12 hours. So.
This
Hasn't
might be-
Steam updated their policy?
No,
where-
you can still review bomb, but it makes a note that it's being review bombed. So like, it's telling me that. Yeah, I mean, like, which is I guess the best thing to do, considering like you can't just discount any reviews that might come in that time.
This is going to be quite possibly the most glorious movie video game adaptation flop of all time then.
Oh,
If it's even impacting the game, not just the film, that's something else.
It's incredible. I am hoping that this stops Paul W. Anderson from making any more movies.
True. Please.
Wait, I'm trying to find the what. Here.
It's like you can find it if you Google it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, we've been in here for a bit. Welcome to GameBusters. This is a podcast from GameLuster.com. And if you're new here, each week we do a deep dive into a game or franchise that we love or we just want to talk about. And sometimes we talk about racist video game movie adaptations. So now everything's horrible and serious. We're just here to chill. I am
Monster
Nirav.
Hunter game busted themselves.
We don't even need to do an episode on them.
Sorted. We got it out of the way in the first 4 minutes.
Great.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm Nirav, and I'm your host, and I'm joined as always by our my lovely co-host Ree.
Hi.
Hey, and our special guest today is Elizabeth from GameLuster.
Hello.
Welcome. So let's jump right in to the Hall of Fameluster. Sorry, that did remind me of an Onion article I saw, which was like, let's just get right into it, says YouTuber 8 minutes into video.
Oh, that's us every week at this point. It's our brand.
Jeez. All right. So, our Hall of Fameluster today, come with me to the moon. We are trying to find the most useless Square Enix party member.
Are we
in
going to
honor.
leave them on the moon?
Everybody is left on the moon, yeah. Like, last week, the horses unionized into a single mass that wants,
I forgot
fair
about
treatment
that.
in the
was
workplace.
Nasty.
It was disgusting, quite frankly. It was some Cronenberg shit. But there's a lot of, look, we're honestly at this point, we're going to need the whole moon, basically, to, who do we contact about buying the moon? Who owns the moon?
Probably
Is
Elon
the
Musk
moon
at this
not-
point.
Is the moon not haunted by the horse mass right now? Like, we
The
can
horses
still
are
use it?
still, yeah, no, like, we're working with them. They've, like I said, they've unionized, and they've demanded some things, like equal pay and stuff like that, but,
We
we're
can't
working
stretch
with
that
them.
right now. We
Equal
can't.
oxygen.
Equal oxygen. I'm trying to figure out, like, if the whole moon itself, maybe we don't need the building of the Hall of Fameluster. Maybe the moon could just be the hall. And, like,
Yeah.
that way we won't have to worry about fitting all these people in, it's because it's growing rapidly.
Look, well, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, whoever owns it, like,
One
hit
of those
us
two
up.
guys definitely owns the moon.
Definitely. So hit us up. We'll just rent a little bit of space. Jeff Bezos is very good at dealing with unionizing workers, so we can send him the horses out as well.
Hey, I keep getting emails from Groupon saying that you can buy an acre of land on Mars. They might have something to do with that, with the moon, too. Who knows?
You think
Ooh.
Groupon might own the moon?
This is a big-ass conspiracy here.
If I dig, I swear to God, if I like dig and I find that Groupon is owned by an Amazon holding company, I'm gonna lose my mind.
In fact, that's probably true.
Okay, so anyway, we're at the moon. Oh, I spilled coffee all over my legs. Okay.
Oh, great start.
All right. Nope, we're gonna bear through it. We're gonna find the most useless Square Enix party members. So, Elizabeth, why don't you kick us off? What have you brought with you?
I've brought Aerie from Bravely Default.
Okay, let me look up a picture real quickly, because that was a long time ago for me.
Yeah, I've never actually played the game, so can you just tell me about this character a little bit?
Aerie is this little fairy who is like your companion, and all she does for the first chunk of the game is be like, you know, hey, we need to go awaken this crystal, which is the whole point of your quest.
Yeah,
and you're
obviously
like,
there are crystals.
Cool,
yeah.
We're doing that already. You don't have to remind us.
Is it sort of a Navi vibe?
Yes, it's sort of a Navi vibe. But then things take a turn, which I won't spoil for you, because Bravely Default is a very good game, and you should play it. There's more to Aerie. She's not just a Navi.
Yeah, I feel like I was a little interested, and then, like, I don't know, the art for Bravely Default 2 makes me want to never play it. Like,
I haven't played the second one yet.
Well, it's coming out in February, but just, like, how the character models look, like, it looks like a terrible
I was thinking of Bravely Second.
Oh, no, Bravely Second is different, yeah.
Bravely Second is out. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I played the first one, like, pretty much right when it came out, I think, on the 3DS, and I enjoyed it moderately. I don't think I finished it, but...
My sister really liked it, so I played it. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Ree, what have you brought?
Okay, let's see if anyone knows who this is. In Final Fantasy X-2, I didn't actually complete the game or get very far in it, so I'm not going to know a whole lot about this character, but there's a companion called Brother, and his whole deal is that he is the brother of the character of Riku, who's also in Final Fantasy X, and the cousin of Yuna, who's like the main protagonist of 10-2. And like, I'm not a big fan of 10-2, but it's only like saving grace is that it's just this game full of e-girl energy. Like, the game literally opens on this like fucking K-pop performance from Yuna. And just to and then like in the first bit of the game they also introduce this character Brother who like, and they're like, hey, you can switch out the characters and have him instead, but it's like there's no point to him. He's so uninteresting. All he does is hit on Yuna, which is really creepy because that's his cousin. He doesn't bring anything, you know, like you've got the main girls, you got Yuna, you got Riku, you got Pain, and they just have this e-girl energy that I don't want to disrupt, so that's why he's the most useless, although I didn't really get that far in it, so maybe he gets more interesting later, but...
From the wiki, Brother is lively and wild with a taste for action. He loves Yuna, being somewhat obsessive about her.
Yeah, his cousin!
When I googled him, I got Brother, Boss, Final Fantasy Wiki.
Being a Southerner, I'm actually pretty excited to find out that Final Fantasy X-2 takes place in Alabama.
That was a bold direction for the series. Is there a massive K-pop scene in Alabama? I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Honestly, there probably is, considering how big they are on Twitter, from what I can tell. All right, so the one I've brought with me is this is a controversial pick, and I hope I can defend myself here. The Luminary from Dragon Quest XI, the main character,
the main guy,
the main guy, because he sucks. He has no personality. He barely ever like talks or does or says anything. He never has any motivations or goals or feelings, and he just kind of is like, whenever someone else in the party says they should do something.
So I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you feel the same way about Link? Because it sounds like
Link is not a party. Link is not a party member.
True.
Link,
it's just Link.
And I mean, Link is that way, and that's why he has a companion with him each time to have personality, like, you know, Tattle or Fi.
But isn't that why? Do you have party members in Dragon Quest XI? Like, excuse me, I haven't played Dragon Quest, but...
I guess so, but I feel like but like, see, that's the thing. I think he is the useless member of the party. I think that still counts. Like,
okay, that still does count.
And you know what? Honestly, that's, now that I'm thinking about it,
this is him useless because he's a silent protagonist.
That's not why. I was just saying, like, he's also mostly like not very definitely in the first half of the game he's not powerful. He is very much the worst character in the party until like the late game, and like I feel like that, but I feel like it's the same for like. Yeah, they had to
give you a reason to keep him in the party.
Yeah, exactly. The reason is that you can't take him out physically.
Yeah, okay, that's the reason. Good reason.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that's, I don't know. I just, like, he's just so, I don't know, he's just so boring, and, like, he adds nothing to the personality, to the whole unit of the party, I think. Okay, so, let's get to voting. I think that, again, remember Axel's Law. You can't vote for yourself twice, but you have 2 votes to distribute.
It's Axel's Law, that's what we're calling it now?
Well, yeah, because he just, without warning, just voted for himself twice and he won one time, so.
I'm surprised it took that long for someone to do that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Alright, so, Elizabeth, where are your votes going?
I'm gonna vote for Brother and Luminary.
Okay.
Because Aries not technically a party member, but...
Oh, well, it's okay. I counter.
I haven't played enough of Kingdom Hearts to vote for anyone from Kingdom Hearts. Caitlin's gonna say Goofy.
Yeah, Donald was my backup. Okay, Bree?
Alright, I'm gonna go for Airy. Even though I haven't played the game, I just have a pet hatred for those sorts of characters that follow you around, like, saying useless shit. And also gonna vote for Brother.
Okay. Alright, I was gonna give one for, now hold on now.
You're gonna make it a tie.
Well,
wait, are you gonna make it a 3-way tie?
Oh my god!
No, hold on now.
Imagine how on earth we would combine that one.
Oh, man. I don't want to do it just to do it though. I want it to be organic. And I mean, this creature is not going to be organic. Let's get that out of the way.
I mean, we could make it work. I just thought of the name in my head. It could be like Luma Fairy. It works.
What about
Brother Luma Fairy? Or Luminary already has airy in it. Like,
it does.
Yeah. So...
yeah, I'm gonna take that as a sign.
I'm imagining the Dragon Quest hero with Brother's hair and fairy wings. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, Brother Luminary like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Welcome. Who I guess like so lots of familial stuff going on here. I'm wondering if is this still like Yuna's cousin?
At this point, would Yuna recognize this as her cousin with fairy wings?
I'm thinking, okay, this is the character Brother. He has little fairy wings. They're still to scale. They're not to scale. They are the same size fairy wings. And I think he's got the hair. I think we take the Dragon Quest hair.
Okay, so he is just like a Final Fantasy X OC at this point.
So he's like a punk dude with little tiny fairy wings and like shoulder length hair, brown hair.
Yeah, yeah.
The least punk hairstyle ever. Got it.
He's like long flowing locks.
Oh, I can't wait to see what this is gonna look like.
Oh my god. Alright, I don't want to make this creature, but welcome to the Hall of Fameluster. Alright, welcome everybody to Bustums. This is our main segment. We are going to talk today about The World Ends With You, a Square Enix game, sort of action RPG, yeah. And, yeah, we've got Elizabeth on as our special guest expert. I have an interesting I have a very good story I'm going to tease right now, but I'm going to save for the end, that comes with a confession at the end for the world. Yeah. And it is about a crime I did. All right.
Oh you can't just say that and move on.
No, it's a tease. It's a tease. It's going to be the last. It's going to be the last bit on there. Okay. So, let's get into it. So, if anyone's not familiar with The World Ends With You, and the reason we're talking about it, of course, this week is because a sequel was announced after 12 years of radio silence.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into the history a little bit, and then at some point, Elizabeth, I'll run to you and ask if you can like kind of walk us through the story and the story beats a little.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, but I think I can do it.
So yeah, so this The World Ends With You was developed by the same team that did the Kingdom Hearts series, and this was actually the team that was doing Chain of Memories, and they were coming right off of it and were like, I really enjoyed doing this with the cards and stuff like that and with this art style, but they wanted to make something that wasn't Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy. It wasn't tied to that franchise. And so, that was the idea, basically, was born from that. Now, this was made by one of Square Enix's in-house teams, and it was supported by Jupiter, who is the people who do Picross. So, good on you.
That's a combo.
Yeah, well, they're apparently were like, it's weird. I don't know. Like, they had... I have to say, like, the director of this game, Tatsuya Kondo, had such a hard-on for the Nintendo DS. He thought it was the most brilliant piece of hardware ever created. He, literally, the second he saw it at E3, like, he was like, I'm making a game that can only be played on the DS. I don't want ever make games for anything else ever again.
As anyone should. The
looks
DS
at Wii being ported to the Switch.
Yeah, so, Nintendo had announced the DS at this point, but it wasn't out in the market yet. But it was their idea, this team, to make a game exclusively for that handheld. So they actually started with, like, this has to be a DS exclusive. Every mechanic about this has to be, like, use the DS to its full potential. So the creative team here was Tatsuya Kondo, who had worked on Final Fantasy VII, Kingdom Hearts, and Parasite Eve. So good resume. This was his first job as a director, though. And so they were... he was working with Tomohiro Hasegawa, Takashi Arakawa, and then, of course, our friend Tetsuya Nomura, back again. Nomura came in to do character creation and helped with the creative direction a little bit, but he was, not the director of the game. Nomura, by the way, is the guy who did all the, every Square Enix game, if anyone isn't familiar with his resume. Most famous for Final Fantasy VII, I guess I would say, and the Kingdom Hearts series, but...
And for his love of belts.
He loves those buckles, man.
He does. No matter the setting, everyone's got belts.
Nomura-san, we've designed this villain. He doesn't have a buckle around his head, though. What?
Oh, God, I mean, sidetrack very quickly, but I mean, most famously, you've got Lulu in Final Fantasy X with her dress literally made of belts. He went all out on that. Bear in mind, she literally lives on a tropical island. And she's got this big dress made of black belts. Iconic. Thank you, Nirav.
It's incredible. Yeah. Thank you for this gift on this blessed day.
Yeah, thank you for this gift. Cosplayers hate him.
So, yeah, they first decided to make a game using the card mechanics from Chain of Memories alongside live combat. So their idea was to have live combat happening on the top screen by selecting cards on the bottom screen. That was the original design doc for this. Then, after a little while at work, they thought, Westerners can't handle this. They specifically called out, they said Westerners can't look at two screens at once.
Wait, so did they just think the DS was going to flop in the West in general?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know what they were thinking.
They thought Nintendo would just...
They were like, these fucking small brain Americans can't look at two screens at once. So... At that point, they ended up altering the cards into an in-game meter, but, like, by that time, it was too late, and they kind of had to throw just spaghetti at the wall until some sort of a combat system worked at the very last second. This game, by the way, was very, very rushed. They did not have anywhere near the amount of time they wanted to make this game. They got a little over 2 years of dev time, but a lot of the creative team said they needed, like, several more months to finish it. But... that was Square Enix was like, nope, get it out. So they did alter the tutorials in the West to kind of move more slowly and introduce mechanics more slowly. So the Western release is actually not quite the same game. They did a lot of stuff to clean up the UI. They wanted to make the text simpler and easier to read. They used a little bit more strategic fonts and font placements and things like that.
They've got to account for the donkey brains.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. They had apparently a lot more ideas too. One of their ideas they wanted to have was like a battle mechanic where you could scan enemies' brains like you can sort of do in the overworld, you know? But like, and then use that to fight them, like their weaknesses and things like that.
That would have been interesting, but most of the enemies are monsters.
Yeah, like they're all frogs from my experience.
Yeah, the brain and it's like ribbit, 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 ribbit.
God. Yeah, so they ran out of development time. They had a lot more ideas they were not able to implement, but yeah, so the art director Takayuki Odachi, he said that they wanted to use real-world Tokyo, but they thought it would be too boring because everyone knows Tokyo too well, in Japan. So they decided to basically do almost a photorealistic version that they reanimated and then give it a 2D dimensional slant to make it look like weird but also familiar. And the rest of the art followed that pattern. If you haven't seen any imagery from this game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about right now. I know it sounds very crazy if you haven't seen any pictures. Yeah, so actually at this point, I just want to say this game is mostly set in a 2D weird warped version of Shibuya. Persona 5, famous for Persona.
Oh God. Man, I love all the people who are like Persona 5.
That can't have
that ripped off Persona 5.
I didn't see a single person actually say that. I only saw people complaining about people saying that. So I don't know if it really happened or if it was one stupid guy.
Oh man.
With
the Persona fan base, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
It would absolutely not surprise me. So, yeah, Elizabeth, at this point, why don't you walk us through a little bit of what this game is all about?
Okay, so you're dead. You're dead.
Great
kid.
start.
Aww.
Yeah. And you are put into this game called the Reaper's Game, where you have to basically find a partner who is also dead, and your team has to survive missions for a week in order to get a chance to come back to life, essentially.
Wait, so something as dark as dead kids having to play a game, they went from Kingdom Hearts to that.
But there's
cute.
There's more to it. You learn that as you play the game. They don't tell you all the rules.
Oh, okay.
You start it and you're like, cool, I gotta, you get a text every day and it's like, do this thing. Help these people or find this thing. And there's a lot of, you can interact with the people who aren't dead. You can interact with, the real Shibuya by looking at people's thoughts and finding, trends and patterns, which are actually called memes. Tweety started it, guys. Tweety started memes.
Oh my god.
And you can help people. I know there was some quest where you had to find people's favorite kind of ramen or something. That's what I remember vividly for some reason. Oh, there's one where you have to help this fashion designer for the Shibuya 109.
Yeah, which is a fake store that was actually the Shibuya 104.
Yeah.
That. I was actually going to get to that a little later, but worth mentioning, all of the places you see in the game are real places, and they are in their correct places and everything in real Shibuya, but they're all renamed something sort of different.
No, Tower Records isn't renamed, is it?
That I don't know about that one specifically. I will give a shout out to Starbucks. Some people may know I've actually been to this Starbucks too. The Starbucks in Shibuya is 3 stories, and it's the busiest Starbucks in the world. It was renamed
Starbucks.
Yeah, it was renamed to the Outback Cafe.
Oh my god. I've been to Shibuya twice, and the whole reason I wanted to go to Shibuya in the first place was because of Tweetwee.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
we went. I went
for the culture.
Well, I mean, we were studying abroad, but me and one of my other friends were like, we have to go to Shibuya. We have to go because of the world ends with you.
I wonder if they get the amount of weebs they must put up with there.
I mean, they have to deal with the Persona 5 fans too, so it's extra now.
Oh, that's probably worse, actually.
I actually feel worse for the people in Sangenjaya, the real Yongenjaya, where the protagonist lives in Persona 5, because we definitely went there and found the cafe that we live in. And took a picture of it. Don't know what those people thought, but
By the way, I'm pretty. There is actually an Outback Steakhouse in Shibuya.
Oh, I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, I actually remember seeing it because I was like, that can't be right.
No, there's a TGI Fridays in Ikebukuro.
No,
we almost went to it because we were so amused by the thought of a TGI Fridays in Japan.
Here's a secret confession. Also, this is not the one from that's going to come later. But when I was in Japan, with my friend, we were in Tokyo that weekend, and we saw the Clemson USC game was happening that weekend, and so like we were wanting to watch it. Or no, it wasn't the Clemson. It was the fucking finals, Clemson and Alabama. And we wanted to watch it, but of course, like, nowhere in Japan is broadcasting, like, American football.
How dare they?
So, yeah, right? And so we were, like, looking around, and, like, we were, like, looking on Reddit for, like, people to suggest stuff, and somebody was like, oh, there's actually a Hooters in downtown Tokyo.
What?
That might be showing it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And so we did walk in just to check, and they were not showing it, so we left. But, like, the experience of first of all, walking into a Hooters, but secondly, walking into Hooters in Ginza
was an American... Wait, have you been to an American Hooters? Do we have a comparison here?
I don't actually know that I've been inside one in America. I know what they are and what they look like, but no, it was very much exactly the same. Like, you know, like it was very much the exact same thing, just Japanese.
I almost talked my parents into taking me to a Hooters when I was 3 because I really loved owls and I loved their logo so much. And every time we drove by Hooters, I was like, I want to go to the owl restaurant.
Oh, that's so pure. Oh my god.
Can't do it. Sorry, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
Let's jump back to it. So, okay, so yeah, eventually they selected Shibuya as the setting, even though like apparently he who's the director's name? Sorry, Kondo. He faced like a lot of pushback from Square Enix on this because they were like, oh, Western audiences are going to dislike being in Japan.
Oh, so always the bloody Westerners, isn't it? Like they do realize that
we're the problem. Damn it!
Anime fans exist. Like anime fans exist who would actually sell one of their siblings to go to Tokyo. So. You know, I feel like they were worrying for the wrong reasons there.
And anime fans who will play that game and then want to go to Tokyo more also exist. Like,
exactly.
Because that's actually what happened.
Yeah, that is what happened, right? And okay, let's see here. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. I'm reeling back to. Sorry, I just have to say that after we went to the Hooters and did not find a place to go, we were trying to find a place to eat, and there was crazily a Mexican restaurant, and I was like, oh, you don't see that a lot in Japan. I wonder what's going on in there. And so like we went in. It was like below there, and so like we went in. It was like a nice place, and I was just like, hey, is there anything vegetarian? And they were like, oh, yeah, we got you. And I was like, great. And what they brought me was a bowl of queso, some tortillas, and some tomatoes.
You know what? Well, I eat that.
They weren't
You know what?
wrong.
I did eat it.
They were not good. Wrong. That is in fact vegetarian. You can't fault them for that.
You are right. Never change Japan, I guess. Actually, please change a lot. Okay. So, at this point, they send out scouts to Shibuya, and they start photographing everything. They try to get, like, all the streets, the alleys, the rooftops. And it was actually at this point that they noticed, like, whoa, look at all these teens with their cell phones. Teens love cell phones.
So you're telling me the reason that Tweeby is how it is because of Westerners and millennials?
It's millennials, dude. Every time.
They ruined
I'm
everything.
surprised there aren't fucking participation trophies in it.
Oh my god, that's why there's memes!
Jesus. Sorry, I'm trying to solve a tech crisis. 1 second. Hold on, my dad's calling. Actually, we'll just put this on. Hello? Okay, I did forget it was my dad's birthday.
Are you really going to broadcast that on a podcast?
Maybe. It'll add some drama.
There we go.
It'll show that your priority is this video game.
Yeah, Jesus, I'm a true gamer. Oh man.
Oh god, you gotta clip that. You just said you're a gamer.
Oh god.
Confirmed.
Bro, we have a gamer moment.
Oh man.
We'll fix it in post. Okay. All right, so they've so The World Ends with You focuses on the character of Neku Sakuraba. So the devs like spend a lot of time trying to like get inside the head of these teens, right? What are these teens all about? And they're like, we want this to be so relatable. We want everyone to love these characters and feel like they're there, you know?
I like how Neku is supposed to be relatable. He's like a fucking introvert. Like the most introverted dude ever.
Yeah. So yeah, like the soundtrack was a huge thing. By the way, this is an amazing soundtrack. Even if you don't want to play the game,
the best soundtrack.
Go chill. Just it's like fucking lo-fi anime beats version 2.
It's vibes.
It's vibes. So this was composed by Takaharu Ishimoto. He also did The Legend of Mana and all the Kingdom Hearts games, as well as Final Fantasy Dissidia. So good hands there. So he mixes together rock and hip hop and electronica and has like several dozen J-pop idols do vocals on it. So pretty good. Cool stuff. One interesting fact I found, the game is actually titled It's a Wonderful World in Japan, which is and that then the jump to The World Ends with You is interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't know where they got that from.
Yeah, that is an interesting translation decision.
Well, they couldn't use
It's
a Wonderful World.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the It's a Wonderful Life movie.
Yeah, I think that's why. They found it was like copyrighted in America, so they were like, okay, the Western name is just going to be something different. And I mean, I gotta say, like, I know sometimes things are lost in translation, but I think The World Ends with You sounds a lot cooler than It's a Wonderful World. So, yeah, there's also some additional media. We've got a 2-chapter manga made by Shiro Amano with some cell phone... They made some custom cell phone ringtones as a tie-in for you.
Of course, I forgot this was the 2000s. Oh my god.
Man, I vaguely remember that.
Do you remember the sort of ringtones where, like, at the back of gaming magazines, there'd be a whole page advertising them, and if you paid, like, I don't know, I'm guessing it was a few cents because it was a few pence over here, to this like dodgy ass company, you got the rights to use like I don't know, like a sound from Call of Duty as your fucking ringtone. Like these were they were definitely not official, but I just miss that bit of 2000s culture, you know? Brilliant. Yeah. I love it.
I've also just remembered that I just had a flashback to high school when everyone had like ringback tones. So like you call somebody and then just like Fall Out Boy starts blasting you.
Oh god, yes. That was kids. That's what we had before Spotify, you know, the struggle.
Yeah.
Oh, and sending each other like downloading.
Sorry, I just had an idea of creating a strategic network of people to call for different songs that you wanted to listen to.
Oh
god.
Oh god. And I mean, like the pain of like downloading songs on your phone and then Bluetoothing them to your friends at school the next day. Oh boy, you know, we struggled, you know. Kids, you should, you know, you take your technology for granted nowadays. This is Boomercast now.
Yeah. I get, yeah, oof. Okay, let's stop booming. So Mobile Port was released in 2014, which changed up the controls a little bit to work on the single screen. That's on iOS and Android. You can go grab that if you want. And the Switch version was released in October 2018 with a totally new control system, and they added back some cut content. This game has sold very badly.
Yeah, everyone hated it. I remember correctly. Yeah.
Okay, it got great reviews. It averaged out at an 88 on Metacritic, so it did really well. I saw a lot of individual reviews from magazines back then. All gave it great reviews. A lot of 9s actually. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was our dumb, small Western brains, but like...
Probably.
It actually sold better in the West than it did in Japan. Like, it sold so badly in Japan that Square Enix never reported the number.
My guess is because the DS one was pretty hard to find, and if people wanted to play it, they'd have to buy the Switch one.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, possibly.
But I'm so surprised to hear that, because, I mean, I've never
people
played
love
it,
this fucking game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've heard of it.
Loves it.
But I was trying to find the right moment to say this, but my only experience with The World Ends with You is that when I was 11 years old, I would binge fanfiction about it. I didn't even know it was a game. Like,
this is a fun window into your life.
That's amazing. Are you kidding me? You didn't know it was a game?
I had no idea that The World Ends With You was a game. I literally just thought it was this, like, world that only existed on fanfiction.net.
Can I ask you what you knew about The World Ends With You based solely on reading fanfiction?
Alright, this is going back a good 12 years, but the only thing I can remember with any clarity was that... What's the main guy called again?
Neku.
And what's the dude with, like, silver hair called? The one
Joshua.
With, like, Joshua.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna assume that was it.
Yeah, those two were heavily in love. And the only thing I can remember is that when I found out it was a game, I thought, okay, my impression is that it's just this, like, chill, light lifestyle game where you just play as some teenagers and you sort of vibe around the city for a bit.
Dude, these teens are vibing right now.
They are vibing. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't even know they were dead. Like, I just thought...
This is amazing.
This is such a weird, like I feel like I've just seen, like, your secret self.
How did you find the fanfictions?
My friend who'd actually, like, played the game sent them to me on Facebook.
God.
And she didn't tell me it was a game.
Now, tell you.
If you had ended up writing your own fanfiction about it, we could have ended up with The World Ends With You version of My Immortal.
Oh my god, we could have done. You know what?
Did you write fanfiction?
There's a fairly decent chance. There is a decent chance I might have done. And you know what?
No. This is erasure. You're hiding something.
there may or may not be a very cringy fanfiction.net account that may or may not have my version of The World Ends With You fanfiction on, where no one's dead, everything's fine. It's just like.
And you have your self-insert character, and it's called The World Ends With You.
Yes, I did.
Wait, have you since played the game, or are you doing this podcast solely off of your fanfic experience?
So, do you remember, Elizabeth, like, when the announcement was this week, and, like, you did an article on it, and I was editing it? That was the first time that I found out what the game was really about. So
my experience pales in comparison. I do have the Switch version here. You know what? No, actually, now is a good time. I'm gonna reveal my dark secret.
Can you top my one?
It's not gonna top yours, but I think it'll flow pretty nicely. So back in 2008 or so, my friend this would have been in college. So I guess this is 2011, right? Okay, yes. So. And I'm gonna put you on blast. I know we're not friends anymore, Becca Schramm. If you're somehow come across this podcast, I haven't talked to you. I haven't talked to you in 6 years. This is my confession. My friend lent me her DS copy of The World Ends With You. I never put it into my DS, but I lost it immediately.
Right. That's how DS games work.
Right. And so I never even opened it, but it was so long, it was over a year before she asked me about it, and by that time I had forgotten about it, and so I genuinely replied, like, I don't have it, because I didn't think I did. And then, because I was like, there's no way I have it, and then, of course, like, years later, I did discover it, like, back at my mom's house, in my drawer, beside my bed somehow, had made its way over there, and then I did lose it again. And so, I don't know where it is. I never got to play it.
I was about to say, if you drop it down and return it, then yes, if you return it, then you get my fanfiction.
Am I the only person here who's, like, played the DS one? I played it so much as a kid.
I did a criminal crime.
The reason my sister and I bought the Switch one was because my sister's like, I want to play it again from scratch, but she's almost 100%'d the whole game. She's like 98% done with it. Like, gotten all the items, gotten all the scenarios, all the skills, everything.
This is the most dramatic episode we've had yet by a long shot.
This really is. Yeah, this
do I
has been
still
a ride.
have my DS copy? Well, I remember what happened was we had a friend who was really into it. And we had gone out for dinner that a couple days later, and there's a GameStop right next to the restaurant we went to, and Claire's like, oh, my sister's like, I want to go look for this game, and we found a copy of it. So we bought it, but we only had one copy of it. So I remember she was playing it on her DS, and I was hunched over at her desk watching the tiny screen, watching her play it. This was October, and I ended up getting my own copy for Christmas.
That so is we were the 2000 sibling experience right there. I relate.
Hunched over her little DS, watching her play this, and we were so bad at it at first. But now she's like amazing at it. She's like almost completed the entire game.
God. Ugh. All right.
She's being like the secret boss and everything.
Okay. So yeah, I have the Switch version. I'm holding it in my hands right now. I've spent about let's say like hour and a half, 2 hours with it. Hopefully I'll get back to it. I hate the controls, man. This is so hard to play. I hate it so much.
Am I the only person who's finished Tweewee?
Oh yeah, I assume so here.
Oh shit! Hang on, I'm trying to see if I still have my DS copy of it.
Okay, so you guys are telling me that the World Interview is not like a nice, chill, coming-of-age story.
It's about dead kids, man.
It's called the Reapers game.
I didn't know about that. I was just reading.
How was that the part they left out of the
fan? I still have it. I found my DS copy of it.
Like, anyone who's read / fanfiction in the 2000s knows that plot doesn't really come into it. It is pure just fluff.
I had a friend who wrote Neku Joshua / fiction in the 2000s. So
oh my god! Hold on, there's a chance. It's a small world. I could have read your friend's fanfiction.
There's a very
I was about to say, there can't have been that much of that, but of course there is.
Oh, what an experience
I vividly remember my friends sending me Neku and Joshua fanfiction. Oh my god.
Misconnections, dude.
What? Oh. So I'm the only person who's like playing.
I brought you on here to be an expert.
Oh my god. I felt like y'all at least like knew.
I know what it is. I'm holding it in my hand, and also I stole it and then lost it.
Look, I'm not dragging Nirav down.
I have a deep emotional connection to this game by just the way of just not having played it.
It was like the first game I ever played that like wasn't Pokemon, and I got like super into it. Oh man, because like my friend was like, "You should play this." And we were like, oh, okay. So, we bought it on a whim, and we were like, oh shit, this is awesome. Like, we loved the art style. The art style actually influenced how I draw still now. Deadass.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what to hold on. Let me find my DeviantArt.
No, actually, we can't do this. You can plug your DeviantArt at the end.
I don't use it, so...
Okay, I have to keep moving and get us out of just the whole thing that we've been here.
This is collapse.
This is amazing.
The anime adaptation of this game was announced in June 2020. It's going to premiere April 2021. So mark your fucking calendars.
You better watch it. Oh my god.
This is the story for the first. This is roughly the story from the first game, but it is adapted to take place in 2020.
I will stream it for y'all if I have to. Like, seriously.
You can't do that. That's copyright infringement for us to stream the anime.
Not on like the podcast, but like I'll set up like a Discord call and we can watch it together. I'll sit down and make you watch it.
Like, I don't want to because I don't.
It sounds like it's a threat now.
I think you have to.
Look, I have this amazing vision of what the story is in my head, and I think it's really cozy, and I think it's really fun, and I think we should make a game out of that. So
this is like if you like discovered a bunch of imagery for
about Joshua as a character. Holy shit!
He was the. I don't even know how to word it. He was like the more. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to remember fanfiction that I read.
This is like if you had discovered like a Flash game somebody made for Homestuck and thought, "Oh, this is the whole thing."
God, you're right.
I think it's worse than that. It's like if you read I don't know, one chapter of a bloody fan fiction for Game of Thrones, a TV show, and thought, that's it, I know everything about A Song of Ice and Fire.
Supernatural fanfic and not watching the show.
I think I did that as well. There's a bit of a theme here.
That's interesting. I'm learning a lot actually here.
Oh my god.
Okay, I have to do this. Please let me. The anime is coming out in April next year. It is the same story, but it has been updated to take place in 2020, so it will be altered slightly. And everyone's going to have smartphones instead of flip phones, etc.
And I have a feeling the word meme is going to be replaced because they can't throw that around willy-nilly anymore.
Probably not. And that the sequel was announced last week. Neo: The World Ends With You. Maybe the worst name for a sequel ever.
Yeah, it's not a good name, gotta say.
And so
looks cool though.
That is technically
playable. That's all that matters.
It's technically going to. So the sequel is technically a sequel to the anime rather than the first game, even though it is the same story, because the sequel will also take place in 2020. So, like, just for continuity's sake, they're calling it a sequel to the anime.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it is the same story, effectively, so shouldn't make too much of a difference. The same composer is returning, which is great. It's going to be new characters in a 3-dimensional world this time. No more 2D.
Yeah. With the same kind of cutscene style, though, with the drawings, which I like. Yeah. I like how it looks like a comic book. It looks really cool.
It looks real. This game has a unique look to it.
It has it's so slick.
Yeah. Highly recommend just at least... I mean, honestly, the anime might be a good call if you're not in the mood for playing this touch control game where you just slice frogs apart.
If you're not in the mood for playing the game that will fucking demolish your DS's touchscreen...
It's so much.
My sister definitely scratched the shit out of her DS's touchscreen playing Twiwi.
Yep.
So, just
oh boy.
So we know.
All right.
That's the reason she has her old DS still, is because she doesn't want to play it on her new DS because she doesn't want to break it.
Wow.
It's
okay.
iconic.
I am gonna just throw this out here. Are there enough ghosts? I think they're all ghosts, sort of.
They're
right?
all ghosts. Damn, there's enough ghosts.
There's enough ghosts in this one. They're all ghosts. We couldn't add more ghosts.
I cannot believe this.
What are you so scared? Are you so surprised that neither of us finished the worst selling Square Enix game in history?
No,
None of us played it.
I can't believe that Ree read fanfic for a thing she didn't even know was a game.
I mean, like every episode, I make myself more unqualified to be editor of GameLuster. I love it.
It's amazing.
So, everybody, this is time for games. We're going to do green light or red light. So, what I've done here, I have assembled a list of a bunch of other games from 2008 that have not had a sequel since then. And we're gonna see, are you going to green light or red light just an unprompted sequel for these games, okay? And then if you want to make a sequel, tell me what it might look like a little bit. So, let me pull up my list file. I did it. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so here are a few games that came out in 2008. Like I said, they have not had a sequel since that time. Okay, Braid.
Braid. What?
I remember
Braid is that like really deeply thematic puzzle game. It's kind of like 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 The Witness and the Talos Principle are kind of like spiritual sequels to it.
I think it should. Yeah, I'm gonna greenlight that one. I think it would do well.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
market.
beloved. Okay.
Yeah, so it probably would do fine.
Yeah. Okay, Spore. Do we need Spore too?
If it works, yes.
Yeah, but
only so I can watch Griffin McElroy make another monster.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, greenlight it. It could be funny.
Okay. World of Goo.
The world ends with goo.
We're greenlighting it, but only if it's that. Only if it's that.
Yeah, the world ends with goo. Done. All right. Sins of a Solar Empire. Ooh.
I cannot remember that one.
It sounds badass.
It's like a...
But it also sounds like it could be shovelware for the Wii.
Yeah, I get bad vibes from that title.
It's like an RTS game with spaceships and stuff. Like
people are probably still into that.
It's like a 4X strategy game, but it's real time.
People like Fire Emblem.
I'm not vibing with that. Yeah, but
do you say people like Fire Emblem? That's not what this
Fire
is.
Emblem's a strategy game. That's all I know.
That's not that. Okay, this is like that's not the same. This is a 4X game. So it's like you're operating it on a universe level. Like you're controlling the whole universe for your strategy game in real time.
Not feeling that red light.
Maybe not then. No. Gamers these days are stressed out about enough stuff. Having a whole universe that they have to be in charge of sounds like a lot.
Yeah. Civilization is a good example of a 4X game. So imagine that, but for a whole universe. A kind of game
that my dad would play. Got it.
Yeah, games for your dad.
Got it.
Okay. Let's, how about this one? Advance Wars, Days of Ruin.
Oh, I recognize the title.
Advance Wars, yeah, you don't know? Okay,
Advance... No.
Now, Advance Wars is Fire Emblem, so you're off a little bit. Advance Wars is a very beloved old franchise for, turn-based strategy, tactical, top-down, a lot like the old Fire Emblem games, pretty much exactly the same. It's a Nintendo franchise, and I think a lot of people kind of think that the reason it went away is because Nintendo wanted to consolidate their strategy games into one franchise, Fire Emblem, so I don't know. But,
I really like that genre of game, so I'm greenlighting it.
Do you guys know Wargroove that came out last year?
No.
That's Wargroove is a spiritual sequel to Advance Wars.
Okay.
Good game if you like those kinds. Okay, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Isn't it getting a sequel?
I don't believe it's been announced.
I should get one.
If it's a proper Banjo-Kazooie
game. Do we? But I think, is this a sequel to Nuts and Bolts or is this a sequel to the older games?
I would not be up for another Nuts and Bolts personally. I
more
do
nuts,
not
more
vibe
bolts.
with that. No nuts, no bolts. Just
you know what they say? More nuts, more bolts.
No, I want less nuts and less bolts.
Okay, great.
That's the title.
How about more less nuts, less bolts? How about Okami?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems wild that there's not an Okami 2 already, so...
How fast Okami was the other game. Okami I played right before The World Ends With You. Those both, heavily influenced who I am as a person.
Yeah, I can see that now. Alright, how about Dark Messiah of Might and Magic? I'll take a sequel, personally. That was the first... God. Alright, that was a game made by Arcane Studios before they made Dishonored. Dishonored is sort of a spiritual sequel to it. It uses a lot of the same mechanics, but it's like a, kind of a robust physics simulation, but in a fantasy world with a lot of kicking.
I trust Arcane. I'll give them another. Oh yeah, why not?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, they've made successful games, so they could probably.
It basically just turned into Dishonored. Dishonored is just like a better version of the idea of this game. So
maybe it doesn't. Dishonored has a sequel.
Yeah. All right. Also going on the record again, saying that Arcane Studios is the best studio in the world, and the Dishonored games are the best ones.
You do realize we've got to thank Todd Howard in a sec. He's going to hear that.
He does Bethesda. It's okay. He loves it. Okay, I've got 2 more for you. Pokemon Ranger.
Pokemon Ranger has 2 sequels.
I did not know that. Next one.
You know what? It deserves another sequel anyway.
Pokemon Ranger? Yes, I know that.
We have got a Pokemon Ranger stan.
Pokemon Ranger also destroyed my DS as a child.
Are you the person who plays all the DS games nobody bought?
Yes!
Okay, you know what? I love Pokemon Ranger, so this is now a Pokemon Ranger stan podcast. I love that game.
Reed, can we do a Pokemon Ranger podcast?
Oh my god, yes.
You want to do a whole different podcast singularly talking about Pokemon Ranger?
I still haven't played Guardian Signs, but I have it sitting right in front of me.
Never have. I've literally.
Oh, you know what? I was
okay.
I know. Okay,
the second ones.
I actually just realized that I was mixing Pokemon Ranger up with Pokemon Conquest in my head, and that's why I thought it didn't have a sequel.
Pokemon
Ranger
Conquest
is a different one.
There's a sequel too. Guess who also played Pokemon Conquest, fuckos?
Oh
Jesus!
God.
What? They made a sequel to Pokemon Conquest?
No, but it deserves one. It was really good.
Okay.
It was like Pokemon Fire Emblem. What more do you want?
Yeah. Okay. So this is our last game. And I know you're gonna want a sequel to this. I want you to tell me what it's gonna look like. Okay.
Okay.
Club Penguin. What does Club Penguin 2 look like?
Club Penguin 2 is going to have stuffed animals. It's going to be like Webkins. They're going to try to make a physical aspect for it. And you can buy, like, clothes and shit
there's like, stuffed animal tie-ins in real life.
Yes. And you have to, it's like Webkins, you have to buy the, like, code.
So, I remember in primary school, so I was, like, this is, like, age 6 to 10, there was a divide between people who played RuneScape and people that played Club Penguin. Secretly, everyone played both, but openly you could only admit to one. And everyone used to bully the Club Penguin lot. Because saying like, oh, you can't, it's not a real game, it's not like a big grown-up game.
Can I ask just real quick now, which camp were you in? Which one did you openly admit to playing?
I was an absolute traitor and would go between both.
Got it.
No one really noticed. I'd be like Club Penguin one week, RuneScape the next week.
You know what? I respect the hell out of you.
I think that, unfortunately, I missed the, I think I'm a few years older than you, and I think I missed the Club Penguin times.
I played Neopets. That was my big... I played Neopets as a kid.
I was
too young for Neopets
too.
So I did Neopets. I did Webkins for a little bit. I did Pokemon GPX Plus, and now I do Flight Rising.
What are the things you said just now?
Those are all virtual pet sites. So Neopets is a virtual pet site.
I know Neopets.
Yeah, Webkins is a virtual pet site where you buy the stuffed animals. I still have a couple of Webkins. There was a period of time during the pandemic in March where I thought about buying, there's a Pink Fox Webkins, I thought about buying it and making another account. Because the pandemic does things to you. GPX Plus is like Pokemon virtual pet site. You like hatch Pokemon eggs. And Flight Rising is dragons. It's a dragon virtual pet site.
It's a science-based dragon MMO.
It's not an MMO. It's like
sorry, never mind. That was a reference for any like old school Redditors who are out there listening. You know what I'm talking about. There is sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry, but there is a thing.
Oh no, I'm interrupting you.
I want you to know about like you know there's like things that are like part of Reddit history. It's like such historical posts. One of them was like, oh god, maybe it was 2008 even. It was so long ago, but. There was it was a girl was on there and she had like this design doc and she's like, I am going to on my own code this science-based dragon MMO and make the whole thing without any video game experience. But like a lot of people were like looking through the listen to me. I will tell you exactly what it means in a moment. So, like, people were, like, going through the doc and, like, saying, like, hey, this makes no sense, or, like, what are you doing here? Like, what does this even mean? And if you read through it, it very slowly becomes apparent that it is, like, a sex MMO for dragons.
Oh, God. No, that's not this. This is, like, you have your pixel dragons and you want them to look pretty. So you go and look for ones that you think would look pretty, and it's like Neopets. You can like paint them. You can find different. They all have like intrinsic colors, but you can get different like genes for them.
Sure.
And I have 253 pixel dragons at this time of speaking.
Sorry.
I have 250. I have 50 more spaces that I can put more pixel dragons in. That was the thing about Neopets. Neopets limited you to 4. 4 isn't enough. About 250.
Wow. All right. So
Dude, I'm a loser.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. Just like you're the only true gamer here.
Dragon pet site since I was a freshman in college. My account is like 6 years old. Oh man.
God.
I had a weird, I was into some weird shit as a kid.
No, it's good. I mean, like...
Also, going through my DS games, you were like, are you the kid who played all the DS games that no one ever bought? Guess who just found their copy of Pokemon Trozy? You know, that other Pokemon puzzle game that no one played!
I completely forgot. Did you have Pokemon Dash, whatever it was called?
Pokemon Dash was the game that I bought the DS for.
Nice.
No joke.
Knew I could count on you. Knew I could count on you for that.
No.
We should have a whole episode. We should have a whole episode on just the DS games no one else played.
On forgotten Pokemon DS games?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I found all 3 Pokemon Rangers, Pokemon Conquest, and Pokemon Troze in my DS case.
Alright, I've lost control of the podcast.
Alright, back on track.
Man.
So
we never
I
had a track, man.
That my idea for Club Penguin 2...
we're still doing that? Okay.
Yeah, we're going back to that quickly, because I want my piece to be said about this. We're going to add the wilderness from RuneScape. So there's the bit where you go to and you can attack other players and take their loot. But you can also take their puffles and like some of the stuff in their igloos.
So what you're saying is you want a combination of RuneScape and Club Penguin.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I think the way that
play it.
I think that there should be, what we need to do to differentiate this from the first game. The first one was famous for, like, banning you every time you said a swear word. I think this one should level you up every time you do.
Oh my god, yes. To see what community it cultivates. It's for the
people who grew up playing Club Penguin who are now jaded millennials.
Hey man, they're like, hey man, this penguin fucks.
There's definitely a way you can scam people. Because wasn't that a huge thing in RuneScape?
That was, oh my god, yes.
My
it was
roommate
a massive thing.
in high school told me that she had a scam ring in RuneScape when she was a kid.
Jesus.
Oh god.
By the way, that money is like worth money. Like my one of my good friends, his brother had a RuneScape account from like when he was young that had like a ton of money on it. He sold it for 6,000 real US dollars.
Oh my god! Like,
oh my god.
On the dragon website that I am on, there are definitely people who buy dragons for like thousands of real US dollars. That is
this fucking underground dragon trading website. It's just like under all of our noses.
Underground trade involved for it.
Do the police know?
I don't know.
But it's like the Animal Crossing villager exchange thing when everyone wanted Raymond.
Trying to
you're right.
I feel like those people weren't paying their taxes, the Raymond farmers. So I think the IRS should look
Raymond
into that.
farmers and look, the Venn diagram of Raymond farmers and tax evaders is a flat circle.
Wait, I farmed Raymond, but I don't pay taxes. Like I work part-time, I don't pay taxes.
Okay, but I feel like you were probably grinding those Raymonds full time, so I feel like you probably should have paid taxes on that.
I got Raymond for myself because I really wanted him.
Oh, so you weren't selling him?
Oh, so you weren't selling him?
No,
okay, that's not.
At least that's what
I wasn't selling him. I worked my butt off to get him from my town, and he's there forever now.
At least that's what you're going to say on the podcast with the IRS listening.
No, I'm going to keep Raymond. He's my favorite Animal Crossing character. So.
All right, you hear that, IRS? Get off my back. Okay, let's close out.
If you sell out the Raymond farmers to the IRS, they forgive your taxes.
Ravens are the most powerful currency in the U.S.
You know what? From now on, I'm not going to be,
I'm going
to be measuring the worth of everything in Raymond.
I hear they have
the PS5, that's half a Raymond.
I heard they have fucking server farms where they have GPUs just cranking out Raymonds.
Wait, no, but
that's why they're so expensive.
There are actually Animal Crossing hackers who are giving people Raymond to kill the market.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's close out.
Escape this hell now, please.
Yeah, let's leave this place.
Leave Purgatory.
So, my question here was very inflammatory. How can we make Square Enix's other RPGs hip with the teens of today?
Oh.
I think memes. Memes are the answer.
Just memes?
We had memes.
So, Elizabeth, I open up Final Fantasy 16 for the first time. I'm loading into the first cutscene. What do you want me to see in there?
I think the problem is, though...
I want you to see a deep-fried image. The loading screen is a picture.
It's like a deep-fried chocobo. It's like, it is a Wednesday, my dudes.
Deep-fried.
but like in a podcast where we have just spent like half a fucking hour talking about Neopets and RuneScape Club Penguin, we are in no position to say what the kids of today want. We are old.
The kids, listen, these are the things I know about the kids. They love the TikTok. They love Snapchatting about TikTok. And they love Instagramming about Snapchats or TikToks. You're gonna open up
Final Fantasy 15, or 16, excuse me. It's going to be the main characters in a like K-pop style band like Final Fantasy X too. But they're doing it on TikTok. They're doing their little dances and it's TikTok.
Yeah.
You see the
that it has to be a major plot point though.
In the first cutscene.
Yeah. No, I want it to be like, oh my god, this TikTok video has gone viral. Like, we have to do something about it because they're going to be too famous.
People are finding out where we live.
Oh, they're getting doxxed?
They're getting doxxed.
That's the villain. The villain is like doxing people.
The villain is trying to swat them.
Or they're super into like the makeup scene and they're like YouTubers.
Oh no, like beauty YouTube
That's
drama.
what people are into as well.
Oh my
right?
god,
like James Charles and shit.
This is like the millionth time I brought up Final Fantasy X, but you remember Seymour? Like, Nirav, you remember when we did that YouTube video on Final Fantasy X, and there's Seymour, the guy who's like totally not the bad guy, but like looks exactly like the bad guy. He looks like he could be a like a beauty YouTuber. Who would cause a lot of drama. Like, he cancels Tidus. And that's the start of it.
So does Joshua from The World Ends With You.
Yes.
I'm looking at the cover of my game box. I see him there. He looks a little sultry.
Yeah, that's kind of how he is. Like, even in the game. That's why people ship him. Well, no, because people ship anything that, like, people ship any guys that look at each other. But he has, like, very, like, flirtatious attitude to everything.
Okay. So more memes, more teens, more TikTok.
More TikTok, more doxing.
More doxing. More cancellations.
And more makeup.
Great. I want to thank Todd Howard for
not doxing us.
I want to thank Todd Howard for not doxing our podcast after we put him on blast every week for 21 straight weeks in a row.
Oh god. We have a thing hanging up in the GameLuster office. It has been 0 days since we last talked about Todd Howard.
It's weird because it just says it has been 0 days since our last Howard, and there's no further like clarification about what that means.
And it's like one of those signs where it's like, it has been 0 days since our last raptor attack, and it has a little picture of Todd Howard under it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of those.
Okay, great. So if you want more of this content, please come to GameLuster.com.
This is the only place possible.
This is I guarantee you there is nowhere else on earth you will find this content.
I guarantee you can listen to every podcast on whatever platform you're watching this on, and you will not find someone else who only found out about the World Ends With You through fanfictions 11 years ago. So that's our USP, that's our unique selling point.
I'm just gonna check my DS games again and just make sure it hasn't wandered into here.
He's determined to find this. You've got to return it,
and then
you get to see my fanfiction.
I'm sorry.
On Facebook and email her and be like, hey, I know it's been like 5 years, but I have your copy of The World Ends With You.
I'm gonna run really quickly through my collection of DS games. It's not a lot. I have Pokemon Moon, okay, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, great, Link Between Worlds, Majora's Mask, Mario 64 DS, and then a little more fun, we have the Spider-Man 2 movie tie-in game for the DS.
Sorry, I have a whole separate case for my 3DS games and my DS games, so it's buck wild hearing you include Pokemon Moon for this.
Oh yeah, no, I only have 7. Here's the last one.
DS games.
Here's the last one. It's Star Wars Episode 3 by Ubisoft for the DS.
Oh, what a combination and a half.
I can say that, my sister also lent me her copy of 999, so I have been playing DS games that only I have played. I am in the weird DS game
Great. Niche. Okay, so, we have, I think we've all solidified in one way or another, like, our position as gamers today.
Yeah, I still play fucking virtual pet sites for children. Ree only knows about video games through fanfic.
And I am a liar. I am a thief who has lied.
Yeah, you are a thief who has lied.
Also, by the way, this is why I literally since then I've never borrowed another game from somebody because I was like, this will happen again. I've never borrowed a game from anybody. My sister still has a copy
of one of the Zelda DS games that she borrowed from her ex that she's never given back to him.
Good. Keep it.
To be fair, this was the same ex that bought her Xenoblade for the 3DS as a birthday present. Then they broke up 2 weeks later, and he tried to get her to buy it from him.
Oh my god.
That's not, buddy, that is not the move.
To add the icing on the cake, I was in Japan at the time, and he was asking me to buy him amiibos.
Underground first edition amiibos only available in Japan? What are you talking about?
It was the Fire Emblem amiibos that had just released in Japan, and they were only available in there for a while. It was Lucina and Robin. Right when they came out.
The coveted Lucina, of course.
He was willing to make.
He was messaging me, asking me to buy him amiibos, and I'm like, dude, you broke up with my sister like a week ago.
Yeah,
if anything, you should be buying me amiibos.
He was like, I'll send you money, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this.
I'm just saying, we're talking about cancelling. We're officially, as a podcast, cancelling your sister's ex. He's cancelled.
Yeah, what's his name? We'll put him on blast, too. Redacted.
I'll put him on blast.
Okay, great. I didn't know if we were actually going to dox him. All right.
I mean, people can... I don't know how many there are, so...
Probably more than one. All right, yeah. So you can find us at youtube.com/GameLuster. I don't know why you would.
Like this.
But... you can find us on Twitter. We are at GameBustersPod on Twitter. We have our own cool Twitter account with lots of cool content like giveaways. This. And giveaways. We do giveaways. And please, one thing that I would like to, again, ask if you for some reason made it to the end here and you liked what you heard, then please head to Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or wherever you get your stuff and, leave us a nice review. I think that helps us a lot and helps us get a little more visibility on the store the more reviews we get. So, let's do some plugs, I guess. Elizabeth, you want to plug your defunct DeviantArt account?
No, I'm not going to plug my defunct DeviantArt account. I will plug my Twitter, which is Punsona, which with a 0 instead of an O. And I will plug my Flight Rising since we were talking about it. I'm Nilo.
Okay. Yeah, Jesus. If you want some good, but not too good dragons, come on by.
No, yeah, I have some average dragons. They're pretty to me.
They're good. I was thinking maybe the good ones aren't for sale.
The good ones are thousands of real life dollars that I don't have. So yes.
All right, Reed, do you have anything to plug?
I'm gonna bring it back down to earth a bit. Okay, so we're announcing the Lusties results next week, I believe. That should be done fairly soon. So we've got the preparation of the Game Awards, as you can tell. What else? Oh yeah, we're going to be pumping out some end of year articles soon. I'm hoping to get one where we all sort of talk about the games that got us through 2020. So not necessarily ones released this year, but some ones we discovered this year, maybe.
Ree, are you gonna plug your fanfiction, your TV fanfiction?
Oh my god!
What was your username?
You know what?
Could you tell me your username?
I don't know. This is 11 years ago. I was a different person.
Ree, I was able to find my DeviantArt account from 10 years ago, so...
So, you know what? If I find it, I'll plug it next episode.
I'm going to take this time to...
Oh my god, yes.
I'm going to take this... I don't actually know what my... See, the problem is I don't know what my username was, but I will plug that if you can find it, I did write a considerable amount of Harry Potter fanfiction from about the same time period. And it was pretty much all future stuff with their kids and everything, the new stuff. So if anyone wants some,
better than Cursed Child in your opinion?
Yes. Unfortunately.
I mean, I feel like the bar was really low there, but
yeah, the bar was low, but mine didn't have the trolley which turned into a spider creature, so
then maybe it's good. Not as good.
Okay, plugging, just, you can follow me on Twitter at Gondeezy, also, and, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff, I'm sure you'll find it. God, I can't even think, and I'm just very stressed out now because I did forget my dad's birthday. We've been doing this.
I love being here because every time I'm here, I derail everything.
Okay,
no,
final stretch. We can do this. Come
okay,
on,
that's the end of the plugs. It's fine. We're good. We got lots of videos. Come check them out. Final Fantasy X. Me reacting to images that were assembled by Ree and trying to figure out what the story's about and getting a little too much of it right for my own comfort.
Very scary, right? Yeah.
All right. So let's plug in the last word for our winner, which I guess is all of us. We need to do something where we all three at the same time say something to get out of here. There's only one way to escape this podcast, and we all have to all three of us have to say the command word to open the gate to get us out at the same time, and that's the only way we're gonna get out.
Okay.
So
I want to leave.
Yeah, and so everybody, I think everyone knows the command word. And we're all gonna say it at the same time after 3. Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Bazinga! I'm going to hell.
You know, I thought about saying that as well, but I was like, no, that's too cringe. I'm not gonna do that. Oh god.
If 2 of us had said Bazinga, and
I said help. Oh
man. Just like a neighbor next door hears a faint Bazinga.
Help! A distant Bazinga.
The world.
Can you title this podcast "A Distant Bazinga"?
A distant Bazinga. Oh my god! I laughed so hard I hit my desk and my amiibos fell. Okay, we have to stop recording.
Can I please stop recording?
Oh man!
Somebody was like, "Oh, there's actually a Hooters in downtown Tokyo."
What?